one cop, two, hell no, we can't fit in that. Wild ones, like we fresh out the cage. Showtime, baby, fresh off the stage. Bad little mama, fresh off the page. Front like you love, but you
Yo, people, welcome back to The Fix, brought to you by Night. The Fix comes to you courtesy of A-Bar Restaurant and Lounge. A-Bar more than just a bar. It's your boy Nara here with Ari. Big up Javina the building, big up Honor Productions there as well. But right now, special guest in the building. Long time man forward in the building, but he's here today. Walshy Fire and Major Lazer. Bless up.
You're the smoothest intro person in the game. Coolest guy. Your intros are just like, I don't even understand it. I wonder if Bob Marley did say, yo, man, go up on the show. If you'd have been like,
alright, so this is sarcasm, alright?
We got Bob Marley. Yeah, man, hype me up a little bit, man. Like, I feel I've done a lot.
This is sarcasm, I know.
Yo, no, man. What's up?
What about you, Walshy?
Bless, man, bless.
Ever traveling?
Yeah, man, bless.
Hey, there today we'll give thanks.
Yeah, man, we'll give thanks.
Thank you for coming, yes.
Nah, man, I appreciate you guys having me.
So what the thing is now, people telling me that you've been going into your own producing.
Yeah,
you know,
so
that's what saying, that isn't that what Major Lazer is, or is it something that you're doing?
No, Major Lazer would be a group, and it'll be a group effort.
Mm-hmm.
Solo would be just stuff I do alone, or with other individuals, you know, and it doesn't come out under Major Lazer's name, just my name and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, I came out with an album, I think 2 years ago, called Be Inspired. It was a hip hop album, aimed towards the ski, and snowboarding market. And then after that, I just dropped a bunch of singles, Holy Rhythm. I just kept it moving. And now I got another album coming out that's connecting the African and the Caribbean world together, called Abeng, which I've named after a Virgin of mine that passed away, which some people listening for sure or watching definitely would know. Great guy. Abeng means the horn that you would communicate in long distances with. Yeah, man. So that was his name, but it also is a communication between these two different regions of the world, and just connecting it, because when you go to Africa, you realize that Africans receive Jamaican music. They receive certain songs, and they receive it maybe much differently than Jamaicans receive their own music, as well as Jamaicans almost never receive African music.
Oh, yeah, that's
so,
true.
You know, it's just one on three tune recently started go through. But before that, it was almost non-existent. You know, you ask any Jamaican who even a Fela Kuti is, and they have no clue. And he might be one of the greatest musicians in the world ever, like right there with Bob Marley and Michael Jackson and whoever you might name. So, working on that, man. I've been doing a lot, going to Africa at least 3 times a year to make sure I, understand what's happening, and then bringing the communication together. And every single artist on both sides has always been excited to work with the other artists.
Right.
Well, we just want forward, reverse. You say you did a hip hop album for ski.
Yeah, man. Called Be Inspired. Go get it.
But the ski market, there's a hip hop ski market.
Yeah, you know what's funny? All right, so here's what we call this.
You're just saying white people. No, that's
no. I know
you're the
white people.
No, but you're the judgment. Yeah. Reggae gone white. Reggae is not, white people own reggae.
Yeah.
You know, they are the main listener. They're the main consumer. They're the ones that buy the tickets to see any reggae artist that comes from Jamaica.
True.
So when they go into the world, you're going to see mostly, it's called Pacific Island reggae, which would be Hawaiian. You're going to see European reggae, and you're going to see American and Canadian reggae, as well as some South American and African acts. But for the most part, they're the main consumer. And I want to say the same thing has kind of happened with what people call real hip hop versus maybe mumble rap. Mumble rap still kind of,
that's like trap music.
Yeah, man. That in the hood still, you know, that's how the ghetto thing.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like what people call hip hop, like Logic and Childish Gambino and Chance the Rapper, you find white people are the main person. We'll go see them people at show. Kendrick Lamar, be a white people to see them on show. So same thing. What I would call this is there's a sweet spot that hip hop, reggae, soca, dance music all seem to make sense to everybody. So there's certain songs that for some reason, it doesn't matter what you listen to. If you have an open-mindedness for maybe the purer forms of that genre of music, there's a circle of people that you can get with that are from different parts of the world, and you seem to all communicate. So for the people that only listen to like mumble rap, them not really involved in the sweet spot of rap, of hip hop, you know, but then you find somebody that likes maybe a Kendrick Lamar. They also like reggae music. You understand? But they might not like dancehall. You get me? So there's a circle where everybody kind of meets, and then there's the other parts. No, trust me. If you give me a pen and paper, I'll show you. But it's amazing to see what that album did, because it was in that sweet spot. I had Raekwon, I had Kabaka Pyramid, I had like so many artists on it. And when you realize,
a real thing, because I think Melissa Kabaka put out a video, like man. Somebody has ski and like what
that was me. Man. So the video actually was made with the top skiers in the world, the top snowboarders in the world. I'm sorry, big difference. The top snowboarders in the world. And that went viral because that was like Michael Jordan skiing in a video with Raekwon in it. Like that was just like big for the world that knows what that is. So I'm glad it even reached you. You know, I'm extremely glad. And hopefully a lot of the people on, maybe Kabaka's side of promoting the video would have tuned in and logged on and said, yo, this bud. So I'm glad that happened, man. But yeah, that was the first one I did. And, you know?
Well, my question though, on the African side of it, because is it a situation where you're trying to tap into the afrobeat now, because it's been popping right now, you know,
right. I wouldn't say that. I would say I'm more trying to get Jamaica and Africa, let me not say Jamaica, the Caribbean region and Africa to have a louder conversation that gets both of them, in the same studio at the same time. Gets them on the same stage show at the same time.
You think that Afrobeat and dancehall is
the two of them similar. Right. Similar. The energy good, you know.
Yeah.
The energy is good. When people them give forward, them give forward. The two of them, same way. As well as soca music. The three, because I have Bunji Garlin on the album and some other people. So when you realize that the three of them speak to each other, the beats actually could be almost very similar as well. So any African artist has no problem writing a dancehall rhythm. As well as a soca rhythm, and then vice versa. So I'm not really trying to tap, because I think I've been working with Afrobeat artists for quite a while now before it became popular. I'm just trying to make everybody on this side of the world aware of what's happening, and then that side of the world aware of what's happening, and have them begin to just investigate these artists. And trust me, enough people, they've never heard dancehall music. Enough people, they have no clue what Afrobeat is. Enough people never heard of soca music. And that's, you know, all three regions. So just trying to raise up the awareness, and hopefully this album will do that.
With the formation of Major Lazer, you talk about the sweet spot. Was it always the intent to hit that sweet spot?
Because when you realize that dancehall is usually the foundation, reggae music is usually the foundation for everything in the world. So when you go EDM, when you go any music, for some reason, this little island is influencing everybody and what they're doing. So you put like a Shabba Ranks vocals on any rhythm. It don't matter what part of the world you are in, you are going to like it.
I don't know why, but I feel like, and maybe people are going to cuss me when I say this, but I feel like it was like Major Lazer. Like they were the first one to kind of mix it properly. Dancehall and EDM properly. I would say
thank you.
You know,
man.
because
and we worked hard to make sure that we understood where you're from and where the audience is from, and make it make sense so that both of you don't go, yo, this is corny.
And I always say like, and I give props to, because it never feel as if it was just appropriation. Like he was just taking to use it to I guess,
I give thanks for
to
that.
sell music, you know. It was just, I realized that it was appreciation of the music.
Man, because let me see, Pon the Floor was like maybe the first one that everybody recognized. I remember now, Pon the Floor never went to number one. Pon the Floor never.
My favorite song.
Pon the Floor just coasted like this, which is why you can still play it. You don't want a song to go like this, because then it just dropped. You know, so you have like we did Cold Water. Cold Water went number one, but it didn't stay on the charts as long as we'd like, because it went to number one immediately.
Wow. While
Pon the Floor, still I play it. And still I got you. Boomaye, still I play it. And still I got you, because people aren't over it yet. You know, they not annoyed by it yet. They're like, yo, I can still listen to Boomaye and get a vibe.
I remember like I was in high school and I was listening to Miss Thing or give it to me, baby. And I was like, who is these?
You know, so that was our theme song for a little while. We don't want to have a pre-tan suit.
No, I appreciate it, man. Keep playing it, please.
Yeah,
man.
And then you just realized like Miss Thing and then Mr. Lex and all these Jamaican artists, and I'm like, but who are they? Like I never know. Like I'm thinking it's some underground dancer, but then I realize it's
right. Well, it did start underground. I mean, you know, my friend Diplo in the group, he tells me about stories of when he first came to Jamaica and played the kind of EDM he was doing was not accepted well. And so he had a tough time trying to get people to listen to dancehall artists on these different kinds of beats. But like anything else, man, it only takes a small circle of cool people, and then eventually everybody else just goes, "Yo, I'm ready to listen to it." So, you know, the work's been put in. Big up to Jillian as well, you know, representing Trinidad and just putting in the work with us, man. We've just been doing real work to bring awareness. We represent the region. That's really what it is. You know, we represent the region. Compa, salsa, reggae, soca, zouk, anything of the region. We try to infuse that in music so that when it goes out into the world, people are saying, man, this is good and I don't know why. And hopefully they'll go, no, there's a reason why. Let me do some research. And then they go, yo, who is this guy, Mr. Lex? Imbad. And then find out about Let Those Monkeys Out and some other song him do. And them say, yo, Imbad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and the work doesn't stop, man. After I leave here, I'm going to go work. I'm going to try and see if I can find Chiching. Big up. I want to do a Christmas song with him. I feel like him would have mashed up the Christmas. And, you know, and then also I continue doing the mixtapes and things like that on another level, which I think is just strictly promotion for the artists and the genres of music, because I realize I've been blessed to have the eyes and the ears of insanely wide audience.
Right.
And massive. I don't want to waste that.
What do you say to the people? Like, you are from Jamaica.
Mullines Road, straight.
Jillian, you're from Trinidad. Trinidad. What do you say to the people that say, the two on link up with the white man from US and not part of the appropriation we're going in the culture right now?
Big up. Big up. Because here's the thing. In everything, you need to have the purist. Because if you don't have the purist, you've lost it. So for instance, when somebody hears reggae, and if the reggae no go, then them say, yo, that's not reggae. So what Winter James might have been doing and what Chronixx might be doing, they say, yo, that's not reggae. Me not like that. But if you don't have the person who's defending this root sound, then nobody's going to defend it. And then you're going to probably lose it. So I appreciate, speak for myself, I appreciate any purist who has decided that they hate what I'm doing or what someone else does that might be experimental or different, because we need you. We need you. You're a very important part of the culture that you're defending. So is there a situation that you tap into that too? Like you're conscious of that and you're saying you're working to see if your work is not keeping in line, but at least, you know, them can understand the reggae and it's evolving. And I don't. I figure if I could get a moment like this to conversate with them, yeah, man, maybe they'll hear my voice and see the passion behind what I'm saying and realize it's not a fluke. We're not trying to like run away with a bag of money or anything like that. We're really trying to raise the awareness and the consciousness. So, you know, for me, I really, really, really appreciate any of them for whatever they do, but I don't use them as a barometer, in any way. I do what I think feels good, and I've been correct for the most part. So, one question I want to ask you though, with albums, dancehall, we don't really have album buying culture, but Major Lazer sell whole heap of albums, and that's putting it lightly. Like, gonna go gold. So, what do you think dancehall artists, local dancehall artists, have to do? But then it's a situation where there is EDM, and EDM audience is massive. But still, there are other people that will say, oh, that's dancehall, man. And they're selling EDM. Right. Yeah, so I don't think too many people would say what we're doing is dancehall. I would say what we're doing is I would hope they say genreless. You know, breaking down the wall of genres. But to answer that question, I don't know. I don't think sales in general are just good. What you should do is just make good music. Just make good music. It will work itself out. Take the business serious. You know, be serious about your craft. Be serious about your presentation, because you see, the thing is, no, dancehall, it's just different. It's just different. The people that love dancehall, they love it most of the time for the foolishness. And the foolishness is just a part of it. And you say something important just then, because if you just leave it at just, you know, just do it and do the craft,
my father took by business.
Yeah, man.
Because I'm saying like, but then the business is making money. That's a business. Man. So even though, so you do it and you love it, and I guess that's
man. It'll work itself out, man. But you know, for the artists that have done a lot of the things like bleaching, or they've decided to change their appearance, and it worked for them. Respect same way, because I realize that they understand that dancehall, love that something there. And then they come with the good music behind it and they win. So for the ones that don't want to do that, just make good music, you know, just make good music, figure out ways to be in somebody's conversation, but just make good music. If you bleach and, you know, wear a wig and your music no good, your music just ain't good. You know what I'm saying? So
you don't have a problem working or looking beyond the image and the controversy, the foolishness per se. Like you don't mind that as long as the person makes the music, it can bring it in.
You know what? I've never been a fan of it, and that's just me personally, because I'm a proud African. I'm an unapologetic African, and so.
I look for your way because she say you're brown.
You don't look
No, trust me, man. Don't let the mix fool you. Once that one drop of African is in there, you know. But being a person who champions natural ways of life, you know, I just hope that we can all come to a conclusion that your music is what's supposed to speak, and the rest of that something there is actually just self-detrimental. You know, your skin is going to come back. Your hair is going to, you know, rejuvenate itself. So I guess you'll be all right. But we want to make sure that we promote the right things. So I would not promote the foolishness. But I don't judge a person on their journey. And everybody has to go through a journey. I had to, you have to, everybody has to, you know. And at some point they will get to the point where they feel comfortable to not have to do those things. And when they do, we'll love and respect them seeing it, you know? So respect is always there.
So who are you, or what is it that I can get to? So if I'm a musician upcoming and I want to work with Major Lazer, you know, maybe in the theatrics of it all, for want of a better word, but the theatrics, but I want to get the music to him, and it's not necessarily, you know, like, how can I get to you? How you look for the person to work with?
I'm easy to find, and I listen to everything that everybody sends me. Just look me up. Yeah, man, I listen to every single thing. It takes me hours. I listen to it all, because you never know. You never, ever, ever know. There's an artist right now named Disruption. I don't know if Trodden Alone are the baddest song right now. One of my favorite songs. And I want to work with him. And I met him last time I was here, but I listened to an email that somebody that knew him sent me. And I didn't know that person. And them say, yo, me there yard and the artist about you for work with him. Just so. And I listened to it and I was like, yo, this is dope. This is super dope. And then I reached out to him. So you never ever know. You never know. You take this thing serious, take it all the way serious, you know, and take everybody serious.
What does that happen with, where somebody send you something and you know the person?
Not gonna lie, Kabaka, it did happen. Kabaka was somebody, I can't remember who did send me to something. Chronixx, it happened. Ezra, the camera guy, I don't know if you're familiar with Ezra. I'm working enough TV show camera on something.
You know, man?
Russ. Yo, Ezra. Yeah, man, brown youth. I think his sister is managing Chronixx now. Or part of the management team. But we did a shoot Boomaye. Zine. And the man ever a sneak in this 2 song from Chronixx. So when the bus is going around, you just listen to Start a Fire and listening to Certain, that song there. Curtain. And before you realize it, you start singing the song and you realize Ezra was just a slick dude, man. Like, he just was like, yo, I'm the artist this, and them and I drive and like, yo, I don't know if this broke. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then you start saying, yo, who is that? But, you know, he didn't force it on us. He just mentioned it and then just kept playing it. He's like, yo, you know, say, him not that far, you know. Could I make him forward to the video? And Chronixx is in Boomaye.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that. Chronixx has a cameo in Boomaye, and we kind of barely knew each other. You know what I'm saying? But because somebody with such a strong suggestion was like, yo, this guy is going to be the one. Yeah, man. And then right after that, we did the Start a Fire mixtape.
Yeah. So, well, the thing is you work with Vegas. No, and I see that you recently work with Vegas. And I'm looking at what I say, is Mr. Vegas a Christian? Like,
yeah, he is.
And he's doing reggae music. And I say I get beaten feet now, but you do Goat and Cheese High, and then you do another one. So high. And then this girl,
song.
Yeah, I can't. This other girl, I don't know.
Yeah, man, one French song.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Where she sampling song, right?
Okay, so here's what I would say. I don't know Mr. Vegas's journey personally, but again, love and respect the artist. We don't care where in his journey he is. I don't even know if he'd call himself a Christian. Only because he does. Yeah. Only because of the walls that brings up, you know, especially in people's minds, where as soon as you say something like Christian, all of a sudden now you can't do all these things without the judgment of these other Christians, versus where we are now, where, I mean, that religion stuff is our generation. They don't mess with that. I'm glad we never said it. You know,
they don't F with that.
They don't mess with that. You know, our generation doesn't believe these stories like how our grandmother did. And our grandmother, she looks at us and goes, no, I'm telling you.
And we're content.
You know what I'm saying? Adam and then Eve from a rib ate an apple. And then we're like, no, it's just probably a story that was to guide us through life. And, you know, these people actually, come from other, you know, religions and other things. And it came down and something was stolen here and something was stolen there. And then you find out that this whole thing could very well be a scam, you know, and it, as one of my friends said, is the last link to slavery, Christianity. And once our generation is starting to break that link and be more open-minded and be more free thinking and start to really guide our life more with the reality that we see in front of us, versus the hope of some treasure at death, you know, we probably wouldn't define ourselves the same way that we used to. So that's why I say I don't know if he would call himself a Christian, only because that word probably doesn't have the same meaning anymore that it meant for our grandparents and what that wall immediately put up. For him, it's a totally different meaning. It's a totally different time. And the things that were absolutely no way, for our grandparents' generation, for the Christians now or anyone that follows any religion now, it seems as if they've defined it in a different way. So ganja, you know what I'm saying? Could be something that's a great example of us now going, yo, it's not illegal anymore. And none of us have a problem with that. Our grandmothers definitely have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? But we don't care.
No, you know, cause they
another
have
person
ganja
smokes.
Tea and they make belly.
Yeah, but we start looking at it like, yo, why should anyone go to jail for this?
True.
You know, why should anyone pay a ticket for this? And if we don't smoke, we don't care if someone else smokes. Versus them, where the society was very much like, well, if he smokes, we don't hang with him.
And then you have new age Christians that they have no problem with ganja smoking.
Yeah,
so
man.
they said ganja is from the earth and it's not.
Yeah, man. So that's what I'm saying, is that I don't know how he defines himself, but I know he's making good music, and I'm glad someone make some music with him.
And I'm just saying, and I just bring it up because I just
yeah, man.
But no, I know he's a Christian. He's a Christian. He said that he's been born again and he get baptized. Man. But then he's getting flat now. But I'm saying, like, is a situation, do you think that you can probably mix gospel and EDM, since your music is so
I would love to.
Genreless
yeah,
and
man,
boundless?
I would love to. And if you really check it, most of EDM has some church energy to it. So for instance, I don't know if you remember one time they used to have songs like Snap, I Got the Power. I got the power. Yo, sing that in church and see if you don't see like the roof raise up. Like you can sense it in her soul.
It sounds like a fat woman that can sing really well.
Like,
says,
exactly.
Sing that.
Which is the actual case. I don't know if you remember the actual court case on that. It was a big fat lady, and then they had the slim lady actually in the video, and the big fat lady sued them and say, "Yo, when you take me out of the video, take me off of the credits."
No slim woman can't sing like that.
No slim woman can't sing like that. So boom, she won lots of money.
Yeah,
man, she won lots of money, man. But yeah, so definitely, if you listen to EDM, especially the older stuff, you'll find these church voices, these strong black women's voices in these songs. So it's done it just might not say Christ in the song. But when you feel that energy, like, I got the power, yo, trust me. And yo, she said God, it would be, you wouldn't even know. You'd say gospel.
Playing church.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Where do you make most of the money from? But
touring. Don't even get it twisted. Yeah, man. Tell everyone out there.
My priest say, yo,
looking in the camera.
Major touring. My priest say, yo, Major Lazer music, like, they're all about and like whole heap of people using.
Alright, so for the last 2 years, I've done about 300 shows a year.
What?
Me one. The group 300. So yeah, man. So 300 and how much days again?
365 and a quarter.
Yeah, I've done 300 or maybe a little bit over 300.
What?
And that's doing sometimes 3 shows a day with the group or doing a show with the group and then doing an after party. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we take it serious. Now, with that being said, there is no other way to really make money. And that's just the honest truth. When I say make money, I mean make money. Like, when you see the plaques and you see all the awards, the percentages are broken up so high. You know, so many people getting a percentage. And of course, the song costs 99 cents. So, you know, we're not talking. So you might see 1 million sold, but be understanding that, you know, we're talking about that's broken down. A lot of people. So touring is the way to do it, which then makes me say that's why I respect the producers in Jamaica. Because them are the last to get some money off of this thing. And that's why I have decided to produce and to continue to DJ and perform my music, because if me to just produce, it would be very hard to make money. You know, very difficult to make money. So the producers that you see in Jamaica, anytime you have a producer on this show, you can flash back to this clip, and say, yo, we understand. We understand that this is a labor of love for you. You know, and you love dancehall and you love reggae music, because there's really no other way to make money from it.
So you think it's just the genre, the dancehall, reggae genre?
Every genre. Even in hip hop, man, you see it all the time. If you watch these hip hop blogs, you see all the time some producers suing Lil Uzi Vert because him do this song. Oh, the guy Playboy Cardi, he's going through a lawsuit right now. Or let me not say lawsuit, a tweet suit. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. One of them was.
Somehow I feel that is going to be a thing.
Yeah. Maybe I just did something new, you know? But yeah, one of them something. Yes, my boss. Where he's going through, and has to make videos in reply to someone who's saying, yo, I made this beat for you. And I have not seen $1 from it. And you're touring the world and you're doing all this stuff. Now, I don't know which side is true, but I do know it's an issue in music. So producers are really the warriors. Them are the real warriors.
Yeah, they make the beats.
Yeah, man.
But I saw an article in the Star where you bemoaned producers unwillingness to work with upcoming artists. Like, I did. Kind of see why.
I did. You know? I did. But I do think that there's almost none that don't. I think that ones that don't, I think they're losing out on the opportunity to grow with an artist and really, develop something that could be very long term. Like me and Chronixx, we're going to have a musical, friendship probably for the rest of my life. We'll always do music together. Blaze Up the Fire is just one of many songs we're going to do together because we both started at the same time. Nobody knew, I mean, some people knew me from Black China, you know, which is a song. A lot of people don't even remember Black China now, but Black China was one of the biggest songs at the time, and I used to play the song. So a lot of people might remember me from that, but for the most part, most people know me from Major Lazer. So that's when them start no Chronixx same time, and we both were able to grow at the same time. So I'm constantly going, yo, who's next? Because I want a long life in reggae and dancehall and soca music. So therefore, I'm going to have to continue. If I want to be like Steely and Clevie and Sly and Robbie, and this is my era, my generation of reggae dancehall, where people say, yo, Walshy put out a lot of good music in this decade, this 20 years, I'm going to have to constantly bring somebody up that nobody knows.
But you don't think it's a whole lot though to sift through? Because even from just what we do, we get a lot of young artists wanting to come on the show,
right?
And it's just like a lot you have to sift through. Like if them have the talent, if them ready, are they ready for it? Like how are you able to manage that plus 300 shows?
It's difficult, but we do, you know, and we don't complain. We just give thanks. Yeah, man, but we do it.
Be grateful to be busy.
You mentioned Disruption. Is there any other like uprising artists where you say,
man,
work with it, they want to work with?
Yo, them have one named Fire King. Him have a song called Steamin', bad song. But I'm also outside of this region with artists from Hawaii and artists from America. There's a girl named Hyrie from Hawaii. Hyrie.
Like she combined Hawaii with Hyrie.
Hyrie, correct.
That's so long, man.
Hyrie. Shabbat. There's a lot of artists out there, man. So many to name, me and Dre Island finally link. And me and him always do this like, yo, I'm soon link you. But we finally linked up and I
like would we?
Yeah, that kind of the same thing happened. Like, yo, I'm in town. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm sending my rhythm like a year ago and then finally send me back the song
wow.
a year later. That's the honest truth. And I had kind of dropped the rhythm and lost interest in the rhythm, but his song is so good that it's re-sparked interest in the rhythm again.
Deep Jai?
Deep Jai, I'm a born, remember me tell you that.
I think him song would do well with
me. Before the Kabaka mixtape, me that go link with Deep Jai, but he doesn't live in Kingston. So it's difficult, but I think he is one of the biggest
and
voices
people love him.
In Bud. I've done 2 songs with him. Also, one of the songs is on the same rhythm as the Dre Island rhythm. Is a rhythm called Mountain Peak, or One Drop. And I think Deep Jai was the only one to shot me back a song immediately. And then I said, well, me not no more song on the rhythm. But then a year later, Dre Island sent me a song. So now I feel like to fill up the rhythm with some more song. But man, I've worked with him. Haven't put out a mixtape or anything like that. Would love to, because he's a wicked artist. Man, Deep Jai is one of the wickedest ones.
We'll talk about your album when we're getting the next Major Lazer album.
I have no clue. We're going to do, we did a documentary on Cuba. We did a show in Cuba that 400,000 people came.
That was a part of the docu-series thing?
Man. So I don't know if you guys can imagine what 400,000 people looks like.
Pandemonium.
Yeah, man. But just imagine people till they fall off the earth. Like, it's just, you can't see people again. And we documented us performing in Cuba, and that comes out in December. So we'll do an EP to accompany it. Otherwise, music is not something you could just put in the calendar and say, yo, next year. It's like a vibe. It's like an energy. And if we haven't made songs that make us feel like, yo, let's put this out, then we just will never put it out. This last EP called No Better, it was a vibe. Literally had the songs. It was like, yo, why don't we put this out?
That's with Travis Scott, right?
Yeah, man. Travis Scott, Marshall, on Conscience. We have a song
that's the one on Bacardi.
Yeah, man. It's on the Bacardi commercial. Yeah.
Sorry, like
Front of the Line is the name of the song. We have a song that went, I think it broke the record for the most liked video in YouTube history, a song called Sua Cara, a Brazilian song. The reason why this EP I think was so important was because it's the first EP that we decided to put non-English songs on. And because I find myself as an ambassador of my region, first and foremost, and then I find myself as a global citizen, I've always wanted to put out French music, and I've always wanted to put out Spanish music and music in other genres, because I begin to understand this.
You see Despacito now.
Yeah, mom, see Despacito. Russian live in Colombia.
Yeah, Mr. Semo do really well in Latin.
He's doing very well.
So
I saw him at the Latin Grammys, and we just passed each other, and I was like, yo, this is amazing, man. I didn't know that you were in it like this so seriously.
He has a wraith to prove it.
Yeah, man, you see it. And then when Mr. said, when we did go Colombia, and the people in say, yo, he lives here. He actually has an apartment. He fully lives here. I realized he's not joking with it. And so he's been an inspiration on that side, where I said, yeah, man, I've been touring the world so much, and I understand so much about the different genres of music in so many parts of the world. Why am I sticking to English? So I'm glad that the group agreed with me. I'm glad that we made these songs, and it has a much more global feel, and it brings awareness. What we're trying to do is just connect these dots, and this album strongly does that, in my opinion.
And there's no Major Lazer concert this year.
Correct.
Why?
No concert this year. We
can't bring 400,000 people.
I think we feel that it might be just time to explore a couple other islands and then forward again. So we're really looking at Haiti, which is a dream, you know, and then maybe like Grenada or one of them islands. So we're not going to do Jamaica or Trinidad this year. But that doesn't mean
Javi is upset.
She's heartbroken.
She love.
Yeah, I remember recently in well, not recently, but a time back in one of your past interviews, you said something about Jamaica is like the homeland. This is where you got the idea for what you do, and that doing the show every December is like how you say thank you for. Yeah, so why?
No, trust me, that hasn't changed. But we've done so much in Jamaica. We did six shows.
Yes.
We've done a lot.
I've been to all of them, by the way.
Yeah, man. No, we've done a lot. We've done a lot.
It's a show out more.
We've done a lot, and I think that doesn't mean there will not be a return. Maybe it'll be next year. But I look at Haiti, and I look at all of the things that we want to achieve personally in an island like Haiti. We want to help those people tremendously.
Right.
We want to bring something that they've never experienced, even if we just do it once. I've done a show in Haiti already, solo show, and I found it to be unbelievable. Jack Mail, Saka Feti, Fiti, Mal, big up everyone out there in Haiti. And
no idea what was, yeah, no idea.
I know those two though.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No. But I definitely appreciate what we've done in Jamaica over the last 6 years, and I think that taking a break, even if it's just for 1 year, hopefully,
absence made the heart grow fonder.
Will make the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
And then when we forward again, it'll be like just this massive thing. But no joke. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it a whole lot.
But I think of the influx of EDM shows like in Jamaica over the years. I think
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with them, you know, but I do know that the Caribbean on a whole has this. Now, here's my honest opinion. I think everybody thinks the grass is greener, and therefore them watch them YouTube and them watch them Instagram and them see something like EDC or they see Ultra in Miami and they say, yo, we need to bring that to Jamaica. We need to bring that to Trinidad. When in actuality, what should happen is a unique experience and not something that's like Ultra and not something that's like EDC or Coachella. Something that's unique to the region. And I think that would be the only thing that I have seen every now and then not be correct about how a Caribbean person has promoted a festival. I don't know if there's festivals happening or it's just like a one event with a one DJ or whatsoever. But yeah, you gotta really think about what you're trying to do, and copying is just never good. It's just never good. So using the word like electric in the name, you know, it just automatically says I'm trying to speak to people that I think that these are the words that they'll understand.
Buzzwords.
The buzzword, the clickbait words, you know what I'm saying? Instead of giving them a totally different experience, including a little bit of that, bringing something from home in it, bringing something from a part of the world they never thought of in it, and just making something so unique that you can actually go to America and to the rest of the world with that same product and say, yo, here's what we're doing. That's what happens right now. You know, most events, I do an event called Rum and Bass. Mad something. It's trap and dancehall. Maddest thing.
Mad thing. That sounds like something.
And I really want to bring it to Jamaica. I might next summer. But I've brought it to New York. I've brought it to New Orleans. I brought it to San Francisco, and I've done a big block party in Miami.
Has received well.
Extremely well. And I realized that people begin to look for these events. There's another one called Curl Fest. Or I'm sorry, Everyday People and Curl Fest too. Everyday People. So just to get you, let me put y'all on real quick because I know we run out of time.
Yeah.
There's a new wave of events now, and I actually might do one here in Jamaica now that I'm speaking this into life. Let's do this. All right, guys? Let's do this.
Make sure we are part of that promotion and everything.
Yeah. There's a new thing that's happening, and we got the DJ already. We have the
him? No.
Oh, we come to see my select some proper song. No, the last 3 songs with the man select a boom. Yeah, boom song, the man. But yeah, and I actually was talking to my older brother, Courtney. I don't know if you guys know Courtney Washington, my older brother.
Yeah.
But I was talking to him about this. And what we want to do is, well, what I've seen is a lot of the events are going away from being your regular parties, and they're having a more Afrocentric or a much more natural thing to it. So you have something called Curl Fest, something called Melanin Fest, and what you're finding is that no disrespect to the perms or to the to anybody bleaching in here or anything like that, or wearing like brands that aren't Afrocentric, but you find that there's this new revolution of girls saying, yo, I'm not going to perm my hair, I'm not going to put on makeup, and there's going to be 9,000 of us.
I will get rap.
Yeah, man, wrap it up.
Give thanks,
Give
Walshy,
thanks
for joining us. Yeah, long time forward.
Yes.
Alright, people, that pretty much does it for our show. We're gone. Keep good.
We've reached the end of the interview.
Or survive, whichever.
Or survived. Yeah. Alright, so don't forget to subscribe using the logo button over there. And please remember, you can watch all the other interviews over there. Follow us on all social media channels at Nightly Fix. And please remember to give this video a big thumbs up.
And don't forget to drop a comment telling us to go suck our moms as well.
Or call you a batty boy.
Whichever floats your boat, whichever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.